Hello you guys, and welcome to Abundantly Minimal. My name is Sarah, and in today's video we are going to do a declutter with me, specifically digital clutter. I'm over here at my standing desk, and I am someone who, despite having a minimalist life in a lot of areas, my digital space is definitely not. I feel like I try to do way more than I should, and the result is often way too many files and emails that it is not super easy to keep track of and keep organized. So today we're going to be doing a declutter with me through some digital clutter. It's been a while since I have done this, and it is definitely much needed. We're going to be going through several different parts today of digital decluttering. So I recommend, if you want to follow along as I go through different areas, I encourage you to do the same. And I think hopefully by the end of this video, we'll both feel better about our digital space. Let's get into it. Now, I think the very first step here is to start with a clean desktop. Now, maybe this is easier for some of you, but for me, I feel like a lot of files end up on the desktop, whether it's video files that I've put together or just other things I need temporarily in an easy to access location, and sometimes it gets a little out of hand. I think first a great step is to decide what is actually needed on your desktop and remove the things that aren't needed. And then for things that you do need, see if you can subdivide it into folders on the desktop that will still be easy to find things, but will not mean you have as many things all cluttered up in your workspace. A clean, empty desktop, I think, can be so helpful in helping us feel our best and not feel, that sense of clutter in our brains. Next up, I think it's very important to address the different bookmarks that we have in different saved sites. To be honest, I have not really changed these in a long time. Like when I look at some of my bookmarks here, I would say at least half of these are things I have not clicked on in at least a year, which makes no sense why they are bookmarked. So updating bookmarks to reflect your current needs is something that can not only save space, of course, digital space, you don't have to have them there, but can also save time. So I'm gonna take the chance right now to adjust this bookmarks bar to fit my needs. Next up, emails. Emails build up so quickly and so often. I've been trying to do a better job of, if a message is no longer relevant, deleting it. Now, I think for our jobs, we often need to archive certain messages. So I do have a fairly good system for how I archive my school messages, and then I go through and delete things at the end of the year when certain content is no longer relevant. But it does give me peace of mind knowing that if I need to go back and find a message, I can. But especially with personal accounts, being really honest and deciding, is this particular message going to serve me later or add value later? And if not, delete it. Of course, everyone's got their own approach for managing their inbox. I don't like to have unread messages in my inbox, and so I like to take care of those. Recently, something that made me very happy was that I had a lot of promotional emails, which was not making me happy, but when I selected all, Google had an option for Gmail to actually just delete all the messages in the promotionals tab, which was phenomenal. I think organizing your inbox, if possible, into different categories such as your primary, your social, and promotional emails can make it helpful for us to keep things straight and separate the emails that are not as important from the ones that are more important. So going through your email accounts, that might be something to keep in mind. Next up, extra photos or videos that you have. Now, maybe you don't really have as much video as I do, just since I run this YouTube channel, but go through the different photos that you've taken, any other media kind of like that, and really think about which ones you need to keep. Sometimes I feel like we sort of hoard our photos and videos because we don't want to lose that, and we think that all of these photos or videos are essential for us to help remember the time. But I think that if we can narrow it down to just the best of the best, it means we're able to commit more attention to each individual photo, and we have like the best picture of, whatever memory that is that we're trying to remember, without not only having all of this memory space eaten up on our device, but also having to scroll through to really struggle to find those best images that you're looking for. A great habit to get into is to, on a regular basis, try to go through and weed out some of those photos or videos that are not as good as the others, and just save yourself the space, let go of those. And so I know for me especially, I take a lot of photos when I'm traveling. I try to separate out, my best photos after that particular day or phase of travel is done, and then you could get rid of the other ones if they are not necessary. Next up, social media. So with social media, we're not really deleting files as much as perhaps unfollowing or unsubscribing to different types of social media that's not adding value. I do this periodically because as someone who I'm obviously making YouTube content, I also really enjoy watching YouTube. But I'm very aware that, as I keep discovering new channels, sometimes it just becomes too much. So I do try to go through and regularly unsubscribe from channels that are not, really meeting my needs at the time or are not as helpful. A lot of the content that I watch now is content that is helpful for me. I watch a lot of business related content to help me with running Abundantly Minimal and my other brand, Mr. and Mrs. Social Studies. There's also a lot of vegan related videos I watch because I really enjoy that and learning about like different food things and new recipes. I do watch some entertainment content and I enjoy that. A good thing I tell myself, and maybe this is relevant if there's other people who have some sort of vision for what they're working towards, but for me, I want to make sure that I'm not putting the dreams of other people ahead of my own dreams, meaning I don't want to become a bigger fan of someone else's content than I am of my own content. If I spend too much time watching other people's content, then that means I'm not spending that time working on my own content. Of course, it's a balance, and maybe this is just a specialized thing from someone who's trying to do this and make it, a job, but that's something to keep in mind. So whether you feel like you're spending a lot of time on any specific social media networks, or maybe your thing is YouTube as well, try to see if there are any accounts that you can unsubscribe or unfollow. And hey, you know what? If Abundantly Minimal is no longer adding value, you're always welcome to do that. Of course, I love having you here and I'm very appreciative of all of your support. But anyway, that is step number 5 of our digital decluttering. Lastly, any other files that you have. For me, these often congregate around the downloads folder of my computer, but wherever you've got other files that are taking up extra space or slowing things down, that would be a great spot to address. I hope this declutter with me was helpful with digital clutter. I'm curious, in the comments below, let me know, have you been someone who ever struggles with digital clutter? Am I the only one? I'd love to hear from you if you'd like. And if you have not yet subscribed to Abundantly Minimal and this content adds value and you're looking for more information or inspiration about healthy living or minimalism, then of course, please subscribe to the channel right over here. And you can check out some of our past videos that might be helpful over here. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.